Trysta Krick of BetMGM
Chrissy.
Tonight and the Heat Check podcast.
What's up, guys?
He is an elite trash talker.
Yes.
So as we welcome in the big homie TK. Trysta, the Dame story. Now, you and I have talked since last, what was it, Wednesday? I think it broke the day after you appeared on the show, and everyone kept saying, "Where's Trysta? Where's Trysta? Where's Trysta?" Well, it's been 6 days, but here's Trysta. Your reaction to the Dame Lillard deal?
Well, number one, just happy that Miami got their guard of the future, RJ Hampton. I bet Davion Mitchell is rooting for RJ as well, as much as I am. Speaking of trash talking, because that was the player that Davion had so many nice words for. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that the Miami Heat now have their diamond in the rough that they can shape and polish and mold into the next Gabe Vincent.
You love that they didn't get. You love that Miami didn't get Dame Lillard.
Me? No.
Now look, I'll ask Trysta, because this clearly was personal with Cronin, and it became personal with Blazers fans, Heat fans, and I have no problem with it, because I know Heat fans probably talking crazy. So for them not to get Dame is probably just fine. For I have no problem with it. But I posed a question yesterday on the show. Do you think Portland would have gotten more for Tyler Hero than they did Drew Holiday? Now, when I say that, I think you understand as well. The DeAndre Ayton thing was not part of what the Heat were doing. That's almost a separate deal. So they would have had DeAndre Ayton. Essentially, what you're talking about is that's what's being reported.
Well, but think about this. They still had to get Grayson Allen from the Bucks. What's up, Jay Ham?
You couldn't hear that, but Trysta just give a big loud "What's up, Jay Ham?"
but Grayson, I mean, let's just say, for instance, that the Heat, Blazers, and Suns were dealing with a 3-team trade. You can find a Grayson Allen type. Like, Grayson Allen ain't a deal breaker. He's not a deal breaker. Like, they could have threw Kyle Lowry in that situation.
No.
Come on, man.
Here's what Phoenix wanted. Because if you look at our man Adrian Wojnarowski, who is like inside Joe Cronin's moleskin notebook.
Wow, ma'am.
There's a lot there,
ma'am.
I didn't even mean it like that, but yes. But yes.
You're probably not wrong.
You know what show you on, TK. You know what show you on.
So if you look at that article about how the deal went down, that they could not tell Phoenix who the third team was, but they gave a position and they gave a salary number. And so the position and the salary number both were in alignment with what Phoenix wanted, which was kind of a rangy wing that could play defense and shoot a little bit, right? And they thought it was probably either Victor Oladipo or Grayson Allen. And the amount of money that Grayson Allen makes isn't a ton. So, you're talking about Phoenix wanting to shed salary, not bring salary in. Kyle Lowry making $38 million or whatever it is, and he's washed. They've already had an overweight point guard who was in his late 30s, and they just shipped him out. So Kyle Lowry's not enough to get that. I know, not enough to get that deal done. So I think you needed another wing. Were they going to give up Jovic or Jaquez? And then wouldn't Portland want that? So the 3-team deal would have been tricky for Ayton in terms of what Phoenix wanted. Secondarily, outside of Ayton, you're not getting 2 first-round picks, a 6th man of the year, and a defensive player of the year candidate for Tyler Hero.
Brogdon and Rob Williams are not game changers. Like, they're not. Like,
they're worth picks. You can
get so Trysta. Once again, I know you guys got a history with the Heat right now, but you mean to tell me that you couldn't get a real pick? And I say a real pick because those picks are swaps and Warriors and Celtics. The same picks that you didn't want from Miami. They're the same picks. Let's be honest.
They're not, because Miami's never bad. Right?
When is Boston going to be bad?
But Boston Milwaukee has the chance in 2029 or whatever it is, either 2029 or 2030 for Giannis to be already gone by then, Dame to be back in Portland on a veteran minimum or somewhere else, because if they don't compete, I don't think Giannis signs that contract this summer or next summer. You've got Middleton by that time. This is like 7 years from now. Middleton will be gone. Brook Lopez will be gone. They will be a completely different team. So you can say that the end of the decade for the Bucks, which is a team that not a lot of people want to go to, is shaky. So that's that first round pick. Then you take into account the 2024 first round pick of the Warriors. If you can get the 18th pick of the draft from the Warriors, which is not inconceivable considering that they were at 19 this year, right? And they had everybody fully loaded. You missed Draymond for the first month of this season. You've got Chris Paul there in the starting lineup. Who knows how that's going to go? It would not be inconceivable for the Warriors, our Dubs, which would be a shock and very sad to me, for them to be a team in the play-in or just inside of the top 6, right? So 6 to 8 wouldn't be shocking. The Lakers were there and they went to the Western Conference Finals. So that's not inconceivable. And then you take into account, now there's another first-round pick from the Celtics that's in the late half of the decade as well. Who knows what happens with Jaylen Brown by then, what this team is. Drew Holiday by that time will be retired. So you're talking about, okay, what destinations do you have the most faith in consistently being good? But what we do know is Tyler Hero is not worth 2 first-round picks. We know that. We know that.
What I'm telling you is, Tyler, once again, I know there's a lot of hate going on in Portland and Miami. You don't think Tyler Hero can get you better than Brogdon and Rob Williams?
No, I know that.
Come on.
And every single reporter would tell you the exact same
thing. You guys are wilding on Tyler Hero.
You're drinking that South Beach Tyler Hero juice, because the truth is there was 20 teams that reached out to Portland. 20. Nobody says to themselves, Tyler Hero could fit into any roster. No one. Drew Holiday could fit on. Do you think you guys wanted Tyler Hero? No, he wouldn't move the needle for you. And you guys at least batted around the idea of whether Drew would move the needle.
Is Tyler Hero better than Kevin Huerter? So if you were to upgrade and get Tyler Hero to put in stop, Trysta, stop.
Because here's the thing.
Tyler's better than Kevin Huerter, and I love Kevin Huerter.
But Kevin Huerter's bigger than Tyler Hero. He has a more versatile place on the floor. And that's what I care about. Drew Holiday, 6'5", point of attack defender, has been you're talking about a multi-time all-star, a guy who just won 6th Man of the Year, and a guy who was up for Defensive Player of the Year if he wasn't injured. That was on par. That was on par with the Donovan Mitchell deal. Before Lauri Markkanen became Lauri Markkanen, that's a better deal than the Donovan Mitchell trade.
Devil's advocate, I just saw him get cooked by a one-man show. He got destroyed in the playoffs. Jimmy,
and guess who he's going to lock down? Jimmy was destroying everybody. He's going to lock down Dame. He's going to lock Dame the F up, just like he did when he was in New Orleans.
Hey, Dame putting 35 on his head. Y'all tripping. Dame is better than Drew Holiday. Like, clearly better than Drew Holiday.
But it doesn't. So, see, the thing that I think you I would call you a pure hooper, right? And I don't mean that to be respectful or disrespectful. That shows your limitations in this, which is you just see it as like pure buckets, right? Like, can this guy go out and put 35 on your dome? And the answer is, yeah, Tyler Hero is a great scorer. Yeah, Dame's a great scorer. But Drew Holiday still shot 40% from 3 in the regular season. His numbers dropped off in the playoffs, but he was carrying the load with Giannis getting injured. And he can guard multiple positions. He's an all-star who is a two-way player. There is not that many 6'5" defensive-minded guards who can also score that would be available, which is why Boston decided they needed him and they needed to give away a core piece of their future in Rob Williams. They wanted to get rid of Brogdon anyway. So, like, fine. But I think you can get another first-round pick from Brogdon. A late first-round pick, but you could get a Clippers pick for Brogdon. So you're talking about 4 first-round picks potentially, Rob Williams and Ayton, and 2 pick swaps for Damian Lillard. That's better than Miami's deal by a significant margin. Damian?
I think Damian. Yes, ma'am.
I need you. You've been real quiet here.
I was just letting y'all rock. I was just listening. I'm the first listener on the show. I'm just here with my headphones in, listening to the discussion. I think the thing that stands out to me is Kenny's fixation on Tyler Hero has been fascinating to watch.
Because people talk like he's trash.
But I don't think people are talking like he's trash.
They absolutely are.
Well, then you don't need to listen to those people. Like Tyler Hero is clearly not trash. I just question, and this is what we talked about yesterday, is I just don't think people see him as like a key piece to a championship team,
right?
Or a team that's in place, like adding him. To me, Tyler Hero going on any team, including Sacramento, being added to any team, it gives strong like Atlanta Hawks vibes to me. Like you swap out Bogey for Tyler Hero on the Atlanta Hawks, or you swatch out Bogey and Tyler Hero on the Hawks. What is? Oh my God, the Hawks are so much better. Like no one still cares about the Hawks. But I think Drew Holiday is such a unique player. He's looked at a little bit differently. And in your, not siding with anybody here, I'm just saying, you could be right in how great Tyler Hero is. But Drew is such a unique component to any roster. I think the trade market may not reflect which one's better. It may reflect which one's more needed.
So, and more valuable to the
end goal.
Yeah. So like you could say, for example, that you prefer, a Chrysler 300, right?
Oh, damn.
And like for you, that thing is worth $50K, right? But for the vast majority of people, they don't think it is a Bentley, right? They think it's just a Chrysler 300. It's got some swag
because it's a Chrysler 300.
Because it's a Chrysler 300 that wants to be a Bentley, right? That's what it wants.
Williams famously once said, "It looks like a Bentley until you see a Bentley."
Right?
And you recognize it does not.
So, but then you look at what its resale value is, right? When you take it off the parking lot, and no matter what you value it as, that's great if it's your car. But as soon as you try to sell it, as soon as you try to, trade it in, which is what Tyler Hero essentially is a trade-in car, you're like, oh, well, this car doesn't have as much value to the open market as it does to me, which is why the Heat love Tyler Hero. So I think it's a matter of what Drew Holiday is valued at across the board based on how many things he can do on the floor. Secondarily, one quick thing before you interject. Tyler Hero was off the team with a broken hand, and they still went to the finals. If Drew Holiday is not on that team, Giannis walks. Giannis is gone. They made that trade for Drew because he got them a championship. Drew not on the team, no championship.
Oh, no. See, and this is the issue that I have. And I love Drew Holiday as a ball player. This is almost like when I talk about Draymond Green. People think like, I just think Draymond Green's a script. Like there's a lot of things that Draymond Green brings to the table that you need to be a championship team. Drew Holiday is the same way. Drew Holiday, if he's your second best player, you're not winning a championship.
He was their third, though.
That's fine. Tyler Hero was the third best player when they went to Game 7 against Boston, when they went to the NBA Finals in the bubble. Like, they're closer to the same tier than people want to realize. They get there different ways, but Drew Holiday is not like people talking about Drew Holiday compared to Tyler Hero like he's franchise. Drew Holiday not franchise.
Caleb Martin stepped in for Tyler Hero and Strus and Vincent, and they went to the finals
and beat Drew Holiday.
But Giannis
beat
was
Drew Holiday's ass. That's what happened.
But Giannis was dinged in that, and Jimmy Butler was otherworldly. So let's be
Chris
real.
Middleton was non-existent.
Yeah, and Chris Middleton.
So now Drew Holiday, he's got to be your third best player. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about and what you say. We saying Tyler Hero on a winning team is your fifth best player? No, he's probably like your third, maybe fourth best player. They're closer to the same tier than people want to give it credit to. That's all I'm saying.
I got you, and I don't know that anyone's disputing that. This is
Trysta is.
No,
I don't think she is. I think she's saying they're different. Like Tyler Hero. So let's frame it like this. And I'll take your answer for whatever it is. We'll use Kevin Huerter as the example. Drew Holiday on the Sacramento Kings. Does it change things? Does it change because we think this is a potential championship team already. Drew Holiday on the Sacramento Kings. You probably lose Kevin Huerter. take one other small piece. I don't know which one, but the core stays intact. Does that move you?
They're a better defensive team. Overall, does it change things? Look, I think they can get to the Western Conference Finals as is. So to me, no.
Okay.
To others, it might. To everybody else, I think it does.
Because to me, I do. Like, I think it elevates them a little bit, regardless of how you feel about Davion Mitchell and what his future may be. I do think it elevates them a little bit immediately because it's unique and it's different and it's something that they don't have. Tyler Hero, to a certain degree, you already have that. Is it a better version of it? Sure, but you already have it. And you have him here where De'Aaron's going to do what De'Aaron does, which is be a superstar. Domas is going to do what Domas does, and that's be the most overrated all-pro in the league. Who did damn near a triple-double every night. And then you got like Tyler Hero right there. To me, it's like, yo, that's dope. That's huge. But I still have the same concerns that I did.
There's just
it's not better. It's just different.
You need to, I think what you're trying to figure out is how can we have the most versatility in terms of our roster for different matchups that we're going to see in the playoffs, and who's going to guard the other team's best guard and who's going to guard the big. Right. And if you have any holes in the roster, how are you trying to shore those up? And you saw what Jrue Holiday did against Boston when they beat them last year. And you're saying to yourself, okay, like that slap on Marcus Smart, do you remember that like play with 3 seconds left to go?
That was an all-time
it was
play.
phenomenal. Like Tyler Hero will never make that play in his damn life ever. And those are the types of winning plays that Jrue makes all the time. That Tyler Hero, nice player, fine player, love his scoring ability. Don't love him in terms of doing those little things for a winning team.
We can move on from this, but I'll just say what happened in game 6 and 7. Tatum put 46 on their head at home. like yeah, he makes these great plays, but it's at the end of the day.
He can't guard everybody.
That's his job. He's got to guard Tatum.
He's got to guard one, like all of them at the same time?
No, but he's got to guard Tatum. Like in that situation. Got to guard Jimmy. Boston, but even with all that being said, Boston is probably the title favorite with that group. Or the Eastern Conference Finals favorite. I don't know if they're better than Denver yet.
Did they jump? By the way, go ahead. I'm sorry, Trysta, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, though, but you wouldn't have thought that if it was Marcus Smart.
No, I wouldn't. I think Jrue Holiday's a little better than Marcus Smart. They're close too, but I think Jrue Holiday's a little better.
This is where you're going to start a fight.
You see where I'm going here?
This is where you're going to start a fight with me. So let's stop this. Okay, I just point out because you mentioned Denver. For anyone listening to the three of us right now, if you are listening at work, whether you're working at home or working in the office, one, we thank you so much. Two, if you're listening at work and you're miserable at work, just take solace in knowing that Nikola Jokic is probably as equally as miserable at work as you are. Like ever since I watched him in the finals, there is no more miserable human being to watch play professional sports than Nikola Jokic. He showed up yesterday for what was very clearly his first day of work, and he hated it. My man's been partying. He's been racing horses and drinking beer and champagne out the bottle. And he had to show up like the rest of us after a long break at work. And it showed on his face. So just know when you think you can't relate to a professional athlete, pull up any clip of Nikola Jokic and know that man is at work and he is miserable.
Yeah. And they asked him, they said, well, has this been the best summer of your professional career, given the fact that you just won a title? And he said, no, I played 2.5 months longer than I normally do.
This guy.
He hates
this guy.
Professional basketball. They asked him, hey, are you familiar with Deion Sanders? No, sorry. All right, bro. All right. Hey, how's your freaking horse?
Hey, let me ask you. You think it's a work?
No.
You think any of it is a work?
Nope.
He can't care about nothing.
He's not clever enough for it to be a work. No, this is a shoot.
He cares about
hates
nothing.
The NBA. No, it's not a work.
Did Kenny get the DK Metcalf? Did Kenny get the DK Metcalf nose ring, or is that my monitor?
No, that's your monitor. I ain't got no nose ring. Yeah.
This program interrupted by a very random question from Trysta Krick.
I was like,
Are the Bucks the favorite, or are the Celtics the favorite in the East?
I think you got to give it to the Celtics. It's going to be
It
both
was a
of
good
them
run
have
for the Bucks. It was a good 2-day run for the Bucks
good
before.
2-day run. Good 2-day run. Also, I'm curious about both teams for different reasons. One, Chris Middleton just hasn't been himself for 2 years, right? He just, we know what he can be, but we don't know if he will be, you know? So that's that.
Can I stall him out a little bit? He came back in the middle-ish, a little later than the middle-ish of last year, and kind of did the injury management thing. I don't know how healthy he was when the season ended, which is kind of the thing I'm concerned about. And I think we'll know pretty early in the season where Chris Middleton is at, perhaps moving forward. But I'll stall him out a little bit in that he had kind of the Klay Thompson treatment, in which he came back in the middle of the season, had the injury managed in terms of his schedule the rest of the way, and never found it.
Right.
I think we'll know pretty early, like, Chris Middleton might actually be on the severe decline of his career, or he had an off season to prepare and to get ready to be healthy to work on his game. And now he's back to at least some form of what we saw in years past. So
he's key, right? If he's not elite, then they're going to need Marshawn Beauchamp to like step up. And that's a eek. I don't know about that one. So that's kind of the main question mark that I have. And then on top of Boston, I'm wondering about their front court with Kristaps Porzingis playing 5. He said wasn't aware he was going to play 5. He's like, oh, well.
You're 8 feet tall. What are you talking about?
What? It's like, I didn't actually, sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that. It's just like, what are you talking about? So
in Porzingis' defense, he often seems oblivious to everything going on around him.
Sir, you're
like he seems to be completely unaware of what's happening.
You ever have those coworkers that just like never check their company email and like they just go to their job, but they don't know what's happening around. They're like, oh, yeah, did you see that we have a cybersecurity training, Kenny? Like, you're 3 months late for the cybersecurity training and the sexual harassment training. Kenny's like, I didn't see that, bro. Like, what?
The sexual harassment training that took like 8 days to complete.
Oh, my God.
It was the longest training ever. The sexual harassment. And my favorite part was the sexual harassment training took like legit 29 hours to complete. The racism training took a solid 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Bada bing, bada boom. We're out of here.
Hey, just don't use the N-word or say all lives matter at work and you'll be just fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other one is like, are you allowed to compliment on a female coworker's outfit? I don't know. Is that a trick question?
I have
no idea.
Just keep to myself.
Just put my
How about that? Just keep to myself. Not say hi to nobody.
That's Kristaps Porzingis. Right? Yep. That's him.
Kristaps Porzingis does not check the company email.
He's not going in for voluntary workouts. He doesn't know the training staff's name. He hasn't been to the team cafeteria yet. He hasn't even spent any time looking through his locker. He's just out there to hoop, right? So he doesn't know. So I'm worried about him and his health and him as a 5. Is he really an elite defender against a guy like Jokic? I don't know that he is, especially on the perimeter. His defense can be very sus. He can be a pretty good rim protector, but I would have loved him a lot more on the weak side and then Rob Williams there. It's a lot to lose Rob Williams when healthy. And then is Al Horford going to be your 5 then? Is he going to be your 4? He's pretty old. Yeah. So the starting 5 is, I think, when healthy, very nasty. Drew, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White off the bench, or Derek White, Drew Holiday, Tatum, Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis at 5 if you play small. That's fascinating to me. Plus, you can trust Drew Holiday with the ball, unlike any of the Jays. Jays.
You know, 2 things there that you said about both of those teams. Number one, I just don't see Derek White the way everybody else does. I'm a one-man wolf pack. I think he's a good ball player. I don't think he's a game changer. A lot of people look at him like, yo, Derek White, that's not like he's Tatum or nothing like that. But they they just value him a little more than I do. I think he's a good ball player.
Did you see that Portland turned him down in the deal? They said, no, we don't want Derek White.
Really? They were gonna ship Derek White?
They were, and they said, no, we want Rob Williams.
Well, me and Cronin agree on that one. But about Milwaukee.
Interesting company you keep over there.
About Milwaukee, I'm with you, Trysta. I don't know if you said this definitively, but I don't think Middleton is ever getting back to what he was. I think at that time he was like a number 2. Like they looked at him like, we need you to be a 21, 22 point per game scorer so we can be a championship team. And he's just not that anymore. But here's where Dame comes into play, because now Middleton can comfortably go to 13, 14 points a game, kind of go at his pace, and Dame picks up the offensive load and the crunch time scoring that they were looking for Middleton to get before then. So it may work out because of that, but I'm with you. I don't think Middleton, unfortunately, it's not his fault. I just think the knee is just really, really bad. I don't think he's ever going to be that guy again.
Well, so Drew averaged 19, 5, and 7 last year as the third option. Do you think that Middleton will average 19, 5, and 7? Because that's what you need if Dame is your 2 and he's your 3.
No, but Drew wasn't the third option all year because Middleton was out.
Right.
Like when Middleton's there, he's the third option, but Middleton was gone in and out of the lineup, so Drew had to pick up the scoring load and did a great job. I saw all this stuff about Drew and all this. They were still the number 1 seed in the East. Yeah. You know, it wasn't like they were terrible. So he did his job, but I think Middleton is probably closer to like 15, 16 points a game.
Dame will average 30.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee's going to be dynamic on the offensive end. They're going to lose a lot on the defensive end without Drew, though. So I don't know if it balances out or not. We'll see.
Well, and you can tell that if Chris Middleton was really him, and he still had a lot of juice left in the tank, Portland would absolutely, from a fit standpoint, and if he was younger, right, from a fit standpoint, they would have taken Middleton 10 times out of 10. But they didn't want Middleton because they didn't think that the juice was left in the tank. And so they knew that whatever player that they were getting from the Bucks, they were going to have to flip. And Drew had more value than Middleton. So otherwise, if Middleton was like 5 years younger and hit the prime of his career and fully healthy, Portland gets Middleton, and then you have Drew, Dame, and Giannis. And then you're really scary. You've got Brook Lopez in there, Robin Lopez now as a backup. That's no comment really about what Robin Lopez is gonna bring, but he's just there. So I didn't want anybody to think like, oh, I thought he was a game changer. I want to put that on record. I just said he was there as well.
You like the direction of your Blazers?
I do. I don't understand, and I'd like to know how they're going to use Ayton and Rob Williams together. Ayton, I think I saw something on the internet, but I'm not sure if I ate the garbage, that Ayton wants to play 4. And that Ayton's high school position and his natural position is as a power forward. And then you would move Jeremy Grant to the 3. I know. I don't know why that would be, but he likes to be face up to the basket. He likes to tween, step back, do his thing.
Tween.
Ayton, no, that's what Ayton wants to be. Don't get it twisted. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be MB.
I agree with you. I love that reference. Tween, cross, queen.
By the way, he cooked me bad. He made me fall. Filet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we played 1-on-1. I did get him. It's on wax. Check it out. Me and Filet played 1-on-1. I think
on
I got
YouTube?
I'll send it to you. I think I got maybe 11 or 12 points on him.
Oh, you was getting buckets.
Buckets.
He was getting buckets.
Did James just drop off French fries and leave?
In my head, I did think about that.
I thought he was gonna sit down. It's like James showed up, dropped off French fries, and just cut. I don't know. No, Trysta, we got French fries.
He's like a process server. He's like, anybody order McDonald's? You Damian? You've been served.
You Damian.
TK, we love you.
I miss my girl TK, man. It's good seeing you again, girl.
Miss you too, guys.